Welcome to today Botany class, Chapter 1, Transportation in Plants, Part 3. Today we will discuss long distance transport of water in plants. Long distance transport of substance within a plant cannot take place by diffusion alone. Diffusion is a slow process. It can account for only short distance movement of molecules. The movement of a molecule across a typical plant cell 50 μm takes approximately 2.5 seconds. Here, the large and complex organism substances often have to be moved across very large distance. Mass or bulk flow system which moves water and minerals and food are generally across long distance. The substance in a bulk or in a mass from one point to another as a result of pressure differences between 2 points. It is a characteristic of mass flow that substances. The bulk movement of substances through the conducting or vascular tissues of plant is called as translocation. Here, higher plants have highly specialized vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. Xylem is associated with the translocation of mainly water, minerals, salts and organic nitrogen and hormones from the roots to the aerial parts of the plant. This is very important bit in examination point of view. Phloem translocates a variety of organic and inorganic solutes mainly from the leaves to parts of the plants. This is opposite mechanism. You can remember it. Here the pathway how the water absorbs in a plant. We will observe the topic. There are two pathways. One is apoplast pathway and symplast pathway. Apoplast pathway is the system of adjacent cell walls that is continuous throughout the plant except at the Casparian strips of the endodermis in the roots. See, the apoplastic movement of water occurs exclusively through the intercellular spaces. This is very important. The question may be given. The changing of word is intercellular between intracellular spaces. So, remember it is a intercellular spaces. So here the apoplast does not involve crossing the cell membrane. That is very important. The movement is depend on the gradient. Here if it is any barrier, it will not cross the barrier. This is the through movement is mass flow. Then the symplastic system is the system of interconnected protoplast. Neighboring cells are connected through cytoplasmic strands that extend through plasmodesmata. So, during this symplastic movement, water travels through the cells. This is very important. In this, there is a membrane crossing system. So, here there is cytoplasm intracellular movement is through the plasmodesmata. Water has entered the cells through the cell membrane, hence the movement is relatively slower. Here the difference between the apoplastic and symplastic you can remember easiest way. And the most of the water flow in the roots occurs via apoplast since the cortical cells are loosely packed and hence offer no resistance to water movement. The inner boundary of the cortex, the endodermis. Here water then moves through the symplant and again crosses a membrane to reach the cells of the xylem. The movement of water through the root layers is ultimately symplastic in the endodermis. So, this is the only way water and solutes can enter the vascular cylinder. And then some plants have additional structures associated with them that help in water absorption. Mycorrhiza is a symbiotic association of a fungus with a root system. The fungal filaments either form a network around the young root or penetrate into the root cells. The hyphae have a very large surface area that absorbs minerals, ions, and water from the soil. Larger volume of soil. This is very important bit in an exam. As various ions from the soil are actively transported into the vascular tissues of a roots, water follows its potential gradient and increases the pressure inside the xylem. This positive pressure is called as a root pressure, and it is responsible for pushing up water to small heights in the stem. Either besides this, the leaves of many herbaceous parts, such as water loss in its liquid phase, is known as guttation. So, root pressure can at best only provide a modest push in the overall process of water transport. In a tall trees such as Sequoia sempervirens, gymnosperms, it requires more water. A long standing question is whether water is pushed or pulled through the plant. Most researchers agree that water is mainly pulled through the plant, that the driving force for this process is a transpiration from the leaves. This is referred to as cohesion, tension, transpiration, full model of a water transport proposed by Dixon 1914. The water loss from the plant surface in the form of vapor is known as a transpiration through the stomata, that is opening pore of a leaf. Here cohesion is a mutual attraction between water molecules. Adhesion is attraction of water molecules to polar surfaces such as the surface of a trachary element. Transpiration pull, driving force for upward movement of water. These properties give water high tensile strength and ability to resist a pulling force and high capillarity. The ability to rise in thin tubes in plants capillary is aided by the small diameter of the trachary elements, the tracheids and vessels. The system of xylem vessels from the root to the leaf vein can supply the needed water. Here the force does not a plant use to move water molecule into the leaf parenchyma cells. Here water evaporates through the stomata. Since thin film of water over the cells is continuous, it results in pulling of water molecule by molecule into the leaf from the xylem also. Thank you. As because of a lower concentration of water vapor in the atmosphere compared to the substomatal cavity and intercellular spaces, water diffuses into the surrounding air. This creates transpiration pull.